After this heavy dose power pack session, may I now call upon for the launch of the 14th Annual Global Islamic Finance Report, GIFT 2023. The launch of GIFT 2023 by Cambridge IFA UK. Do we have the presence of Professor Humayun Dar for the launching? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a huge round of applause to Professor Dr. Humayun Dar.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I would like to thank AAOIFI and these sponsors and supporters of this event for giving us this opportunity to share some of the highlights of the 14th Global Islamic Finance Report. We published our first report in 2010, and this year, this is the 14th annual edition. And every year we have a central theme. This year's theme is climate financing and Islamic finance. The highlights of the report are like this one. We have, I think, 15 chapters of the report. The first 2 chapters are regular ones. They are common. First one is on the global Islamic financial services industry, the overview. And the second one is on our Islamic Finance Country Index, which we launched in 2011. In IFSI, as opposed to IFD, which was mentioned earlier, we include about 55 countries only. So in terms of coverage, it's a very small sample. We believe that if we include more than 50 or 60 countries, the information content doesn't improve significantly. So I would come to this IFSI thing towards the end, but just a quick kind of introduction. Chapter 3 is on overview of climate financing and its importance. So which is very much consistent with the theme of the report. Chapter 4 is on role of the Islamic finance in financing climate action. Chapter 5 is on innovative Islamic financing mechanisms for climate action. Chapter 6 is on importance of public-private partnerships in financing climate action. Chapter 7 is on growth and potential of the green sukuk market, something which is becoming very important in Islamic finance. And Chapter 8 is on the role of governments and multilateral organizations in financing and promoting climate action in the OIC countries. And then we have other chapters. Chapter 9 is on the potential for investment in low carbon and renewable energy infrastructures, implications for Islamic finance, and so on. So we have chapter number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So different aspects of climate financing and its relevance to Islamic banking and finance. A very comprehensive report. It is like a report. It is a professional report, but with a lot of academic rigor. A lot of reports, without criticizing any reports, their focus is on the industry. So in our case, we would like to bring the academic perspective as well. So when you read these 300 pages, there would be a lot of text, like in an academic journal, but at the same time, we bring relevance of the industry as well. So after this one, I would like to share what is our perspective on the size of the global Islamic financial services industry. The intention is not to create a controversy, because there are different estimates of the global Islamic financial services industry. In our calculations, At the end of 2022, December, the global Islamic financial AUM was 3.805 trillion US dollars, which is slightly different from what was reported earlier. And the difference could be because of the methodology and the coverage. Okay. In our case, I can give one example. A few years back, we would not look into the rural banks in Indonesia, for example. So we would not cover because we did not have access to the data on rural banks. There are thousands of rural banks in Indonesia, and hundreds of them, they are Islamic banks. So we have started including these institutions in our report. So at the end of December 2022, our estimate of the global Islamic financial services industry is 3.805 trillion. And we keep an eye on the industry. By now, definitely the size of the industry has surpassed 4 trillion, which we would be reporting in our next year's report. In terms of the growth, annual growth of the industry, it was estimated to be 19.75%, which is very interesting when we look at this graph. About 15 years back, 15 years, 14, 13 years back, until 2012, we saw this high growth of the industry, which was then followed by a low growth period between 2013 and 2019, when consistently there was a decline in the growth rate of the industry. Of course, growth was there, but the rate of growth, okay, that was actually declining. In 2020, we started seeing an increase in the growth rate. So in 2020, 7.61% growth, 2021, 8.06%, and this year, 19.75% growth. And we believe that the industry would be moving to this high growth rate kind of regime. And there could be a number of reasons, but we looked into the interest rates prevailing in the global markets and different jurisdictions. And interestingly, we find that when interest rate is higher, Islamic banking and finance does well, okay, in terms of profitability and in terms of growth. So now that we have high interest rate regime, the Islamic AUM is increasing with a very significant rate. This is something, a kind of correlation between the interest rates and the increase in or change in Islamic AUM. A lot of things can be attributed to this one, but in order just to provoke the industry leaders over here, this is a very interesting statement which the report has. The real factor contributing to the growth of Islamic banking and finance is what it happens to abolish: increase in interest rates. So I think, okay, this is something a lot of people would like to look into, and this could be a subject of further research. Coming to IFSI, Islamic Finance Country Index, this is the first multivariate index attempting to rank different countries of the world in terms of their potential and leadership in Islamic finance. So we have been publishing it since 2011, and first 5 years in our index, Iran was number one. However, over the years, importance of Iran in our index has gone down, and it's primarily because of lack of access to reliable information. Okay. One country which has assumed increased importance is Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia for last 2 years, this is number one in our Islamic Finance Country Index. This year, this is followed by Malaysia, And a very unexpected entry is Pakistan, number 3. And there are reasons for this one. So you will see the countries, Saudi, if we ignore that one, Malaysia, then we have Pakistan, then we have Indonesia, then we have Iran, then we have Bangladesh. These are the countries with significant Muslim population. So in our methodology, population is an indicator of the potential of Islamic banking and finance in a country. Given this trend, we believe that, and we are the first one, and this could be a very brave statement, within next 10 years, 3 Muslim countries of the world, they would emerge as the true global leaders in Islamic banking and finance, and that would be Indonesia, the largest economy in the OIC bloc, followed by Pakistan and Bangladesh. So these 3 countries, those who are looking into some kind of future planning with respect to Islamic banking and finance, they should be looking for these 3 markets for growth and their presence in these markets. And this is something we are mentioning. Bangladesh is actually a country which is becoming more and more important. And given this importance of Bangladesh, we have started looking into Bangladesh. Unlike some other countries where people, they would like to showcase their achievements and potential in a big way, Bangladesh is a country where people are very, they wouldn't like to talk about their achievements. So when we look at the domestic Islamic banking and finance sector in Bangladesh, this is very significant. It's about 1/3 of the total banking and finance sector. So as I said, this would be Indonesia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, which would emerge as global leaders in Islamic banking and finance. We brought a lot of copies of GIFR, but after the launch in the morning, they have just disappeared. But those of you who are interested in going through a serious document of about 300 pages, we would be very happy to provide the soft copies. Thank you very much.